So, in the early wee hours, I woke up. Well, I guess, of course, I woke up the other wee hours after all, and as I get older, those wee hours tend to increase in frequency. However, in the early wee hours of a cold winter's morning here in the Czech Republic, I woke up, and like so many people, I felt across to the bedside table and pulled up my mobile phone to see what's been going on during the time I was sleeping, and lo and behold, the wonderful and irrepressible Michael K Vaughan has made a video bringing up the topic and subject of monetization again. Many of you will probably remember this caused quite a furor last year between certain members of this community, and I didn't take much of a view either way because I was at the time ineligible for monetization, although of course I did hypothesize to some extent as to what I would do should I be monetized, and I thought in this video today that's what I would talk about. Hello everyone, welcome to and welcome back to my channel Book Time with Elvis with me, Mark, and the subject of monetization. Now, Michael K Vaughan's video, of course, all details will be left down below, made a wonderful and thoughtful video about the subject, and I agreed with him absolutely. In my own case, I became eligible to apply for monetization on the day that I reached 1,000 subscribers. Now, I was in an unusual position, I think. I don't know, but it seems like it from what I see from other people, where I had reached one half of the criteria of the 4,000 watch hours about 6 months ago, and yet I hadn't got the 1,000 subscribers. So it seems some other people have the opposite trouble. They get, over 1,000 subscribers, but don't, have the watch time required to get monetization. So of course, I had been thinking as I approached the mark what I would do, and I discussed it actually with Steve Donahue, with Sean D. Stanfast as well. Two people I speak to fairly regularly, and they're both coming from different sides on this, and I appreciate both sides of the argument. But as Michael says, I think the reasons one decides to monetize or not are fairly personal. And what I thought I would do would be that I would apply and then make the decision later, if I were accepted, to monetize my videos. And I was definitely coming down more in favor on the side of monetization with regards to myself, because several times I've either looked at my videos to check something, or when you click, so for example, I have two accounts, right? So one I use at work because I don't want all the kids, the wheels on the bus go round and round videos and stuff appearing in my Book Time with Elvis feed all the time. And a couple of times maybe I got a comment, so I clicked on it, went to the channel, and there were adverts, commercials, and I thought, that's unfair, really, isn't it? I'm not monetized, and yet YouTube is, exploiting those, views. Yeah, by no means, loads and loads of them, but they weren't bad, of course, as I said, because I became eligible. I became eligible the moment I reached 1,000 subscribers, but they were obviously making money off me. And I thought, well, I do a hobby and I make videos, and it's to do with books, and books cost money. Now, I'm not made of money. I'm a teacher. I'm a teacher in a former communist country. Teachers are not particularly well paid. I'm luckier than most because I work in a school that isn't fully state-run. I'm also lucky from the point of view that am I though? I don't know. I'm a single man, and my only dependent is, of course, my beloved, faithful hound and best friend, Elvis. And so I do have perhaps more disposable income than others. But still, I have a house building project coming up, which is going to cost me a lot of money. My mortgage repayments are going to almost treble the amount I pay at the moment in rent. So the ability to buy books, as I do at the moment, will of course decrease. And if I want to keep on making booktube videos, I have to, of course, keep reading books. Now, you may say, well, go to a charity shop or buy secondhand books. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. I live in a small country, and while English books are available in bookshops in the bigger towns, you have to go to them for one thing. They're still new books, and they still cost more than, say, that book would cost in an English-speaking country. And because it's a luxury, isn't it? I mean, if I could read Czech with the ease I could read English, and I would probably just read in Czech, because of course the books are much cheaper. And I don't have the option really to buy secondhand books. And if I do try to buy from secondhand books in the UK, I'm still now liable, because of certain political things that went on a few years ago, to having to pay things like customs duties or tax on those goods now as they come into the European Union. So I thought to myself, I'm never going to reach the heights of, Criminoli or Michael K Vaughan, for one, Steve Donahue. And I'm fine with that, and if they decide to monetize or don't monetize, that's their business, of course. But I thought, having looked at it, I thought, well, I might get enough each month to buy a couple of books. Why not? So that's the reason. So if you are noticing now that my channel is monetized, it is. Now, it's funny as well, because most people said it takes like a month, and I was expecting a month to be able to ponder this. And I went for being eligible on Wednesday to being monetized on Friday. So, I don't know whether it's done per country. So like if the people review it are based in the Czech Republic, and maybe the volume of people eligible is less, I don't know, but it was ridiculously quick. And of course I made that decision. At first I thought, well, I'll just monetize my old videos. And then I thought, well, no, so many people have YouTube Premium or ad blockers that I think, it wouldn't matter. And also, I'm not a fan. I don't think anyone, even people who really big time monetize their channels, aren't fans themselves of sitting through adverts, of course. But I did, you can choose the type of adverts you have. I enabled, of course, skippable adverts. And the one thing that I did hold off on, because it is something I absolutely abhor, is the mid-video advert. You're speaking and then suddenly, and always the volume is really loud as well, and I find that extremely frustrating. So I haven't clicked that, and I have no plans for clicking that. So you can at least watch the videos in the knowledge that you may have to spend a couple of seconds at the beginning of the video, which you probably will be able to skip through anyway, but there will not be, unless YouTube does it, but I don't think they will now I have the control over it. There won't be any adverts during the middle of the video. And if there are, do let me know, because I would be very curious, because I have deliberately, left that option unticked. Michael also discussed things like Patreon. I haven't really any plans for that. I do run a Substack kind of off and on newsletter. It would probably be more regular if people paid a subscription for it, because of course, then you would be obliged to do that. At the moment, of course, it's free, and I plan to keep it free. I mean, it's not, the most amazing publication in the world, but people do subscribe to it, and it does get looked at, and nobody, from what I can see, is unsubscribed to it. So I think they probably either do what I do a lot of the time, is subscribe to things, and it goes to your inbox, and then you just forget about it and probably never look at it, which is understandable. I think it's just natural. So that's free. With regards to things like channel memberships, I don't know. I mean, I suppose if there were people who particularly would be willing to pay for extras or a book club or something like that, then yeah, I would probably do it. Why not? If those people were happy to do it. I'm not in the, I'm not on the bread line, but I'm not rolling in money. And as Michael said also in his video, it doesn't take much for people to, find themselves in hard up situation. So it seems strange to think that if you have the option to have some money, and certainly in the case of monetization through adverts, you're taking it from the corporations, I suppose, rather than actually asking your viewers to pay. I mean, they're giving up 5 seconds of their time, and you're getting, I don't know, zero point 0.5 of a penny or whatever, so I don't know how it works exactly. I think I've made about $1 so far in those 2 days, but over the course of a couple of months, $50 or so every month, however it works, it's a few books. It's a few books I otherwise wouldn't have been able to buy, and it enables me to keep generating content, as it were. So those are my thoughts. I know another thing. I will bring that up. Another thing I noticed that came up in a conversation, private conversation with Steve Donahue, was when he was talking to me about it, was this idea of authenticity. And Michael also mentions it in his video, and it's something I do agree with, and something I will strive to avoid any decline in the authenticity of the videos I want to put out. I don't want it to seem to anybody that my decision to monetize this channel is any indication or any move away from the content I've been spewing out there already. I don't want anyone to think that the types of videos I make will be made for, the motivations for making those videos will be down to any form of financial gain. I want to keep the trust, of course, of my beloved viewers and subscribers, and I'm going to make every effort to do that. Michael also mentions sponsorship. Now, of course, I'm really still, of course, quite tiny in the scheme of things, so I doubt anyone's going to come knocking to sponsor me, but it's something that, if done right, I'm not against it. And if it's something I really believe in, it's like I talk on, or I've talked on recently about a publishing house that I really like, Alma Classics. And, that would have, if they had paid me or given me books to do that video, it would have made no difference to the video that I put out. They didn't give me anything. I have no relationship with them at all, other than that of a customer. I paid, of course, for everything that I got, but I really like them and I want to tell you about them. If they said to me, okay, Mark, here are some of our new books, talk about them on your channel, I would do that anyway. So I don't see, in that particular regard, that it would be anything wrong to accept their sponsorship of some free books in order to talk about them, because as long as I was given the free rein to give my, of course, honest opinion, then I don't have a problem. I wouldn't have a problem with that. But if someone came along to me and said, okay, Mark, we want you to start talking about this great new horror publishing house. Well, I don't read horror, and you would notice, well, occasionally, but you would notice that shift, and that would be weird, and that would be wrong. So I wouldn't do that. And again, with things like affiliate links, it depends what it was. Again, if I had a link, from the same publishing house I mentioned, if I had a link for them where if you clicked on it and you ordered stuff, I got some money, would I put it in my videos? Yeah, I probably would. And I'm sure a lot of you maybe would as well, because if it's something you believe in, why not, try and get a little something out of it if that thing allows you to carry on doing the thing. It's like a cycle, isn't it? It's like, you get monetized to keep doing what you're doing because it costs money to do what you do. And people go on and on. It's just pennies, but pennies add up, right? And, that's just really my thought on it all. So I do hope nobody's been turned off by the fact that I did monetize my channel. And if you have been, then of course I respect and understand your point of view on things. I do wonder whether this issue is an issue across other communities of YouTube. I've never come across it before. Sometimes I do think perhaps there is a certain, I don't know, some form of maybe snobbery or something among bookish people that, you know, because we talk about books, we're somehow on a different plane, but I don't know. Those are just my thoughts. Do check out Michael's video. As I said, I agree with him 100%. 100% everything he says. It's just we're looking at it from different sides, yeah. And he, of course, has no ill will or no judgmental feelings about people who choose to monetize in the same way, of course. I feel the same. To each their own, you know. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully, this video was not interrupted by a mid-video ad. If it was, do let me know, because it shouldn't be. And I look forward to seeing you all again next time. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.